everybody, it's me, Carrie. I just wanted to show you what I've been busy with lately. With the holidays coming up, I decided that I wanted to try something different and new, but I wasn't quite certain what until I looked what was in my hand. And then I decided, hey, that looks pretty neat. Why don't I make this? So I did. I saw a picture of one, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm not really good on written instructions. On written patterns, they kind of, I don't know. Sometimes I can figure them out, but other times I get lost. And I couldn't find any online videos, nothing on YouTube or anything. So I decided, why don't I just make one? So that's what I'm doing. And hopefully this helps you guys if you guys want to make one. So that's what I'm doing. Hopefully this helps. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, I think the first thing that you guys need to do is what I did. And I tried to figure out which kind of loom I wanted to use. And that was a 31 peg loom. At least that was for me. That works. You guys can use a smaller one. You guys can use a bigger one. Although I'd probably advise against using a bigger one because, I don't know, a bigger one would probably strangle your neck a little bit. Maybe cut off your neck a little. I don't know. I have a little bit of a thicker neck, and this one fits it just right. So 31 peg loom is perfect for me, and probably would fit skinny as well. I'm a little on the thick side. I don't know. But you can use the smaller ones. I like to make ruffle scarves too, and I use my smaller scarves, my smaller looms for those. So a smaller one would be just fine for those as well, and just fine for this. But I decided on a 31 peg because it's all I happen to have available at the time. But the next thing I decided was colors. What kind of colors was I going to use? Well, I happen to have a wide assortment of colors. This is just a small smidgen, just a small, of the colors that I have. I'm a little nuts. At least when it comes to colors. Maybe other things too, but shh, we won't tell anybody. And then, what I decided to do was, for the point, I decided to do a drawstring cast on. And it kind of looks like a point. So I decided on a gray for this one. And I don't know about you, but I have a whole bunch of balls from my working stuff that, I don't use. So I just used, just little balls that I had. These aren't the colors that I used, by the way. They just happen to be other little things that I'm working on. So I used gray, and then I used like a beige type thing, beige color. So I just went off, looked up the colors for the lead, then went off the colors for the wood, and then the little plastic yellow. But I had a color that matched the yellow perfectly, but then I saw this color yellow, and although it's slightly different in the color, it's called Sunshine, and it's a Karen Simply Soft color. I saw it, and it's super soft, and I just thought that would be really nice for a scarf. And I was right. It's super soft, very nice. It's not coarse like some of the yarn that you can put up against you, although you can wash the yarn and stuff. It feels nice, and it doesn't feel thick or woolly, have that feeling like you know what I mean? Like you want to just rip it right off your skin. So this is really, really nice. So I like it. So I made a good choice on that one. And then you have the metal parts here. So I chose green because, of course, this metal is green. So I have green, and then I did the yellow, and then green, the yellow, and green. And then I chose the pink for the eraser part. And that's what I have here. And then I had to decide like the lengths and all that, which I didn't have any patterns or anything to go off of. So I just kind of went by eyeball. So I just kind of estimated maybe about, I don't know, 15, 20 rows for the lead, about 40 rows for the wood, and then my scarf is about 6.5 feet long. I went a little overboard. Shh. But it wraps around your neck and keeps you nice and toasty warm. And isn't that the point of a scarf? Really, truly? I mean, you can wrap it around, tie it around. It's nice. It's so comfy. And then, of course, you have the green part, which I did 7 rows, and then 7 rows of green, 7 rows of yellow, and then I did 16 rows of the green, 7 rows of the yellow, and then 7 rows of the green again, because again I was going off of, I used my pencil as my base here, and then of course my eraser. Now, someone had used the eraser part, so I had to guesstimate how big the eraser was. So then I used the color, and I think I got pretty darn close on this color. And this one, all of the colors that I have, by the way, are all Red Heart, except for the Karen Simply Soft, the Sunshine one that I showed you. These are all Red Heart, the classic Red Heart. And this one happens to be pale rose color. The other ones, I don't really know the colors, except for to say that they're kind of beige and gray. And the green, I think it's a forest green. But I can't tell you the exact colors because they're all balls. Yeah, sorry. But they're all Red Heart classic colors. And you can just kind of go to your store and take a pencil with you, and it's a simple tool. But these are the colors that I used. Specific Pale Rose and the Sunshine Simple Karen Simply Soft. So this is what we're going with. And I'm going to keep this wrapped around my neck. Oh. And of course, I don't leave anywhere without my compadres. So I did the drawstring cast on, and that's simple enough, but just in case you guys don't know how to do that, I'm going to show it just really, really quickly. So the drawstring cast on, you basically take your yarn and you work it through every other peg, and you're just going to go in and out of the pegs. So this is out, then in, out, in. So you see how I skipped a peg, went inside this peg, and then popped out, in, so back and forth. Okay, so that's row 1. Row 2 is simple enough. You take your working yarn, you simply place it in front of the pegs, just on top, just lay it just right in front, and then you're going to knit the pegs that have 2. So you'll knit this one, not this one because it only has one. You're going to knit this one, not this one, knit this one, not this one, so every other one. Make sense? I hope so. So once you do that, you're gonna have something that's kind of like this as you're going along. It's gonna look like this. So this one right here needs to be knitted, but actually, this one right here needs to be knitted, but not this one and not this one. Does that make sense? And once you do that, it'll look like this all the way around. So every peg will be knitted on, or will be cast on. And once you have everything cast on, all of these, everything for what I did was a Uwrap. All of this. I mean, the whole shebang. You don't have to do Uwrap. It's just what I chose to do. I happen to like the Uwrap. I think it looks nice. It looks nice and neat, clean. I did see a picture of someone that actually took the eraser part and did a different stitch, did a garter stitch, which is a purl and knit combo. You do one row of purl, one row of knit, and just continue with that. One row, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, until the very end. And then you just do a basic bind off. And that looked pretty nice as well. I just chose to do the entire thing in a Uwrap. And then if for those of you who aren't familiar with a Uwrap, I'm going to attempt to do this again. Attempt. All right. So make sure I have all of my tools here with me. We have the current peg that we are working on. And how we can tell that is because we have our current yarn, which is this dangling thing right here. Not this here, because this is our original cast on, but this long one that we're working on. And how you can tell it's where you're going to be working on next is because it's typically right behind the last peg you worked on. So this would be the last peg that I worked on right here. So that would mean I'm going in this direction. Sometimes people go in this direction, but for me, I like to go in this direction. So for me, this is going to be my next peg right here. So for my Uwrap, I'm going to take my working yarn and I'm going to take it in front of this peg and I'm going to wrap it around this peg. And just for the sake of this peg, I'm going to call this peg, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll call it what it is. It's peg 4. So we'll take peg 4, working yarn from behind peg 3, in front of peg 4, wrap it around peg 4, behind peg 4. So this is now we have that right there. This is peg 4. It now needs to be knitted off. And this is the Uwrap. Let me see if I can see how it kind of looks like a U. U. then we just knit it off. And there's no way I'm going to be able to do that upside down. So hey, Max. Max says hi. So I'm going to do that one more time. Now we have the working yarn that's at peg 4. We're going to take the peg from the working yarn from peg 4, wrap it in front, take it from peg from peg 4, take it in front of peg 5, around peg 5 to the back of peg 5. And now we have peg 5 wrapped. So peg 5 is the only one that has two knits on it. 2 yarns. 1, 2. So you just knit off. Yarn over. And it's as simple as that. And I just did that the entire way. Uwrap, because if I'm in charge of doing multiple stitches with these guys, I get really confused. And they don't make things easy on me because they like to move. They're adorable and I love them, but they can also be a pain. Shh, we won't tell them anyone. Shh, we'll cover their ears. And then for the very end, I just did a very basic bind off. Now, mine, I can iron this, and I think that's what I'm going to do. But mine kind of rolled just a little bit. I can tighten these edges. I can tighten them up and make them a little straighter. And I can also iron them. So that's another idea. So I think that's what I'm going to do because I've already cast this off. Another idea that you might want to do if you want to Uwrap this entire thing would be, instead of just basic bind off, the very row before you cast off, do a Uwrap. I'm sorry, I said Uwrap. Do a purl stitch. Do a purl stitch and then do your basic bind off. Or a purl stitch and then a Uwrap and then a basic bind off. That way you have a stitch before to hold it in place to give you some more body, to maybe make it lay flatter, if that makes any sense. I think that's it. I think that's all that I did. If you guys ever have any questions or anything, let me know. I'm here. I love answering questions, and I just had a blast making this. And I think I'm going to make more. And I think I'm going to have fun making other things too. And I think I want to make a Santa one next. I think that'll be fun. Yeah. Maybe make one for my dog. Ideas. Anyway, guys, have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye.